is chaos. Its corrupting, changing taint despoils all before it. Only the strongest will endure.
Hello and welcome to another Total War Warhammer guide. Today we are looking at the massive heavy cavalry of the Chaos Army, and that's the Chaos Knights. They come in two flavours. You've got your classic sword and board, or sword and shield if you like to call it, and with the lances. There's slight differences between the two, and we'll go through those as well as talk about how to use them, and also just see them sort of killing some Plutonians for funsies. I feel for the horses. Look at the size of these Chaos Warriors. These horses must just, Jesus, they were some strain. I suppose they're Chaos steeds, so, you know, they'll be alright. So here's the Chaos Knights. So, as I said, they're heavily armoured shock troops is what you'd use them as. They are armoured and shielded, so armour stops them they take less damage from things that aren't armour piercing, and also shielded, meaning they take less damage from missile weapons, which is really good, especially if you're chasing after missile infantry and stuff like that. It's really annoying. And they are anti-infantry, means they get a bonus to damage when they're fighting infantry, human-sized infantry units, as, you know, they are for the charging of those guys. So they come in units of 45. They have 4,860 hit points, 115 armour, which is massive. Good leadership, as most Chaos units are, 70 leadership, 66 speed. They're heavily armoured, so they're a bit slower than the normal horse, but they have 42 melee attack, 44 defence, and 38 weapon strength. And they've got a decent charge bonus at 32. They also cause fear, which is really helpful. If you don't know what fear is, if you read the description, the unit frightens all enemy units. Woo-hoo! Reducing their leadership when nearby is also immune to fear. Fear penalties do not stack, so we only need one unit with fear, basically, to have that. So that's really helpful when trying to break those units. Next up we have the different flavour, which is with the lances. So they work in a similar way. They have very similar stats. The main change is their armour and their leadership and their speed are all the same, but the lances have a slightly less melee attack, defence, and that's it, yeah, slightly less melee attack and defence, but they slightly more weapon strength. The big difference is they have a much higher charge bonus. Obviously, lances are meant for the charge. They do a crap ton of damage. I probably prefer these overall out of the two units. They both have a very good use in the battle, which we'll talk about now. And we'll kill some Plutonians while we're chatting. So the way you'd use these differently is that basically Chaos Knights can stay in the fight a bit longer. You know when you get bogged down in the main battle and they're just hacking away for ages and stuff like this? If you're going to be doing that with these Chaos Knights, you want them to be the sword and shield variety. Again, the lances, they're less good, just worse, when they're bogged down in combat. So you want to hit a unit in the flank that's already engaged in combat, break them, move on to the next one. That's basically a better use for these lances. I think all heavy cavalry are better at, you know, trying to break units, break away, come back, another charge. The charge is just, even with the sword and shield, the charge is pretty spectacular. So we're up against a couple of units of Plutonian Spearmen. Spearmen are obviously very good at fighting cavalry, but we should just overwhelm them because these guys are scary as all hell. They're bravely charging in, though. They're bravely charging in. We're going to send in the standard warriors first. Here they go. Oh, yeah. Got some good distance on the hits there. And they've just fired through this unit and just tore a hole in it. As I said, you don't really want to get these units bogged down. The Spearmen are dirt cheap units. These are Spearmen men-at-arms. And these two units will bog this unit down forever. And even if our Chaos Knights did manage to beat these two units, it's not a very good cost-effective way of using these. You want to be on the move, breaking units, moving on, going for the next one, picking off vulnerable parts. We're going to send in the lances now, so you can see the difference in this charge. We're going to try and go for the unit that's not engaged, that's at full strength. Hopefully they will turn once they realise they're going to get bum rushed from the side. They're like, oh shit, run away! Here they come, boys. So it looks like they're going to try and come in, but we should sweep round. Come on, don't get caught, don't get caught. There we go. Oh, look at that distance. That's pretty spectacular. So a massive amount of extra damage on the charge. And look at the morale compared to the other unit that we charged first time round. absolutely spectacular. These poor little spearmen are about to get charged in the rear. So they, as I said, the Chaos Warriors work pretty much, knights work pretty much the same way as most sort of heavy cavalry. They're a big shock unit. Ideally, you don't want to get them wrapped up in combat. You just want to hit somebody, crush them, move on to the next one. I like their brave hero there, just watching all his troops die. Well done, mate. Well done. You're a legend. Yeah, look at him cheering them on. All your friends are dead. There we go. They're dead, aren't they? Yeah, they're dead. So, obviously very expensive units, especially compared even to some of the other sort of, the Savage Orc Boar Boys or the Reichsguard and stuff. They're very expensive units, but they do cause fear, which is that added bonus. It means they're going to break quicker than a normal unit would when you're fighting them, which is fantastic. There you go, guys. There's our mini little guide to the Chaos Knights. Hope you enjoyed it. Please hit that like button if you did. Subscribe to the channel for a ton more content, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.